I am making this video for a friend who is thinking about coming to Utah for a week. And it's hard to give advice to people who come to Utah because I don't know what people like. But for those who don't mind hiking up to um, 3, 4 miles round trip, I got some ideas for you. So, first thing I would do if you were going to find a Salt Lake City, which is way up here, Salt Lake City, there's some things to do around Salt Lake City. So like Temple Square is currently being worked on. That's kind of a thing that people like to check out, and you can still check it out and everything. So for me, I'm not much of a city type of person. I like to go out in the mountains and some things. So if I had 1 week and I was going to Utah, for the things I like to do, this is what I'd probably do. If I flew into Salt Lake City, I would probably spend maybe a day checking out Salt Lake City, the downtown area a little bit, and just messing around there a little bit. And then what I would do, since I know what is what, and this would have to be like in the summertime, I would drive down and then come across here and go up this road here, this Highway 190, and there's some places you can hike, like this Lake Blanche and some different things. But these are pretty, for those who aren't from the West, who's not used to the elevation, walking uphill, hiking, um, not afraid of mountain lions and things. Like this Lake Blanche would be pretty cool. So this is called Big Cottonwood Canyon. So what I would definitely probably suggest to somebody, and you got to be a little bit comfortable driving. So you would drive down this road here and drive, 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 and then you would come over here to what's called Guardsman's Pass Road, closed winter times. So then you would drive up here and zigzag around. The views are really cool, and then you drive around, drive around, drive around, and then you come in here to Park City. And then what I would do is spend some time in Park City checking out the downtown touristy area. Um, you can spend a lot of money down there. And then the ski resorts are there. And what I would do also, if I was entertaining out of towners, I would drive up here to the Utah Olympic Park, and you can easily do this whole thing in a day, or even less. So it depends on like how much time you want to spend at places. So this Utah Olympic Park, you could actually pay for like a day pass. It's like 60, $70, might be less. And you could do things like slide down that extreme tubing thing, go zip lining, like the alpine slide types things. And you could do some things like that if you like doing that. If you don't like doing that, then you do something else. But I do think Park City is something that most people would like to go see, check out. Like I said, the Olympics were held there. And then from there, what I would do is go down here. You could leave from there actually and drive down and come down this Route 189 through Provo Canyon, which is very scenic. And we live right in Pleasant Grove here. So you come down here. Sundance Ski Resort is there. There's another road you can go up here through some mountainy drives and scenic area and go through here. But if you go through Cottonwood Canyon, that's also very scenic. So then what I would do, I like southern Utah better than northern Utah. I do like the mountains and some different things. So anything like west of here, all this is just like kind of desert wasteland. But I would come down to Moab, which is like 200 miles from this area. It's like a 3 hour drive. And when you get to Moab, so this is Moab, you got Arches National Park, and I have TripAdvisor open here, and things to do in Moab. And number one is Arches National Park. This is Delicate Arch. So if you go to Arches National Park, especially during peak season, which is like seems like it's all the time, you have to get there like at 6 or 7 in the morning, super early. And I don't know what time the place opens where you can actually pay to get in, um, but you need a pass, and it's good for 7 days. It's like $30 a car to get in, and what I recommend is this Delicate Arch. And so when you get to the parking spot for Delicate Arch, it's probably like maybe 3 or 4 mile round trip walk. It's kind of uphill to there, but it's not super crazy. It's doable. This Hell's Revenge is where they go. They do the four wheeling, and this is outside the park, and this is west or east of Moab. And I don't know if you can go there. Yeah, you see, you can drive there, no problem. But you can. I don't know if you can drive there and like watch these crazy people do things from the road or not. I can't remember. I've been there, but I can't remember. Canyonlands National Park. This is a different park, which is right down here. So Canyonlands is huge. So here's like 10 miles right here. So you look like it's like 10, 20, 30, 40. It's like 50 miles by 30 miles. And there's an upper area that you can go in. And then we've been to both areas. You drive way down here and all around. It's like a 50-mile drive to get to the lower area. And then there's hiking trails. Um, the upper area, it's like a canyon, so you look off and see the pretty views. So there's that. But arches, you can spend a whole day there hiking to the different arches and checking it out. And there's several different things you can look at, hiking areas. The problem is that if you go during the summer, it's going to be close to 100 degrees, scorching hot, and it's going to zap your energy. So even though you might have, it might be noon or 1 o'clock, and you're just zapped for the whole day. So you got to do this stuff early. But you could do some hiking and then drive around the park. And there's a lot of different arches that you can like get off and walk on short trails, and maybe a quarter mile or less to fill your time. And then the town of Moab, you could spend. I go there in the evening. It's a touristy downtown area here, shops and restaurants and all kinds of stuff. But you could also, like, there's a road that goes down along here. You could drive super scenic, and you could drive this other road. It's the same road going the other way along the Colorado River up here about 10, 15 miles. And this is super scenic, nothing like you've never seen before. So I would probably spend, so at this point, I maybe have spent a couple days in Arches, and I always over plan and have to cut things short. Now, what I would do is come this way, and like I said, it's going to be hot, so some of these hikes you're going to do, you're only good for hiking for so much per day before you burn your energy. But I would go down here to this Route 12 eventually, or is it 24? No, here's 12. It's like voted like one of the most scenic drives in America. On the way, I'd come down here and go to Goblin Valley State Park and check that out. You could spend several hours there walking around, checking out the goblins. That's these weird formations. They've filmed some movies there, some different things. And don't tip them over because it's not a good thing to do and you get arrested. Long story. I didn't do that though. Then you come across here to this Route 12. Lots of driving, but this is super scenic coming down through here. And then I would go to Escalante, and there's a place called Calf Creek Falls, which is in here somewhere, right here at Lower Calf Creek Falls. And we've been there to hike back to this waterfall. Super beautiful. It's a 3 miles one way, but it's pretty much flat. It's not super uphill or anything, so it's super doable. The other thing, if you go um, morning or late afternoon, you'll be in the shade most of the time because you're down in this canyon, and when you're hiking to this, so you park here, and actually you park. This is the trailhead, so you park there, and then you walk up along this creek until you get to the waterfall, which is somewhere up here. So that's like a 3 mile walk, and like along this creek, and there's a nice good path. Different climate down on that path than what there is like up above. Up above, it's like barren desert and really um, looks like Utah. And you get down in here, and it's all green and lush. It looks like a different world almost. And then you could probably keep following Route 12, and then work your way around here. There's a petrified forest, petrified logs, if you want to check that out. Keep following this Route 12, super scenic. And you come down here, and where am I at now? Oh, so you come around here, and then you can go down to Bryce Canyon, and then perhaps spend a day there, and then uh, take off, and then we like to go places, spend all day somewhere, and then use the late afternoon or evening, early evening, to drive to our next place or toward our next place. I'm skipping Zion National Park, which is right in here, because for 1 week, you're already pushing it here. I don't think you would have time to go to Zion, but if I had time, I would keep going down here and go to Zion. The other problem with Zion is that you have to have reservations to ride the shuttle into the park, and you got to get those like the day ahead of time. It's a little tricky getting into there, so I don't know about that. I mean, it's definitely worth it, but you have to plan it. The other thing is down here at Kanab, there's all types of canyons and everything all around here, and a place where we want to go back to is Little Wild Horse Canyon. And where'd my Goblin Valley go? It's right here. So there's canyons in these areas, and there's one called Wild Horse Canyon and Bell Canyon. It's like an 8 mile loop. Um, I hear people doing that all the time. We want to do that sometime, so we'll probably do that. We can't do it when it's raining because it's a canyon and it will fill up with water and you'll drown. You can't do it in the dead heat of summer because you'll die of heat stroke. So you gotta like do it like in the fall, but you gotta really watch the weather. Make sure that there's no storms like within like 30, 40 miles around, because the water that floods those canyons come from several miles away. And and then I would come around, do loop, and then work your way back up Interstate 15 back to Salt Lake City. There are some odds and ends along here that you could stop at, or you could come over um, and do a little bit of a different route. Come up this way if you don't want to drive on the interstate. It just like I'm entertained by the littlest of things, so any of these routes in here would be fine with me. So let's look at this. So Dead Horse State uh, Park is by Moab, and what that is, if I zoom in here, where am I at here? Dead Horse State Point Park is right here, and the thing is, what it does is overlook Canyonlands. So you got to pay like $15 maybe to get here, and then it's just a huge overlook. You see that it dead ends right here, and like this is where the views are. So very very cool. See, it's got like 5 stars. So Dead Horse State Park is a neat thing, especially maybe you don't have time to do Canyonlands. You don't want to spend another $30 to drive around. in here. So maybe you want to do Arches, then drive to Dead Horse State Park, check out the views, and then head down this way and check out some of the other things. So Dead Horse State Park, Corona Arch is also in Moab or near Moab, and we went there just recently. And let me get my orientation here. So Corona Arch, you go. It's right here. So it's not in the park, so you could actually you don't have to pay money to go there. So you drive along this road here somewhere. Yeah. So it's you drive along the road that's right along the Colorado River all the way around. Super scenic. You'll love it. And you go to the Corona Arch Trailhead parking lot. There's other signs. Don't follow Google. You drive till you see the um, trailhead. Otherwise, Google will take you down like these back roads. You don't want to use Google really too much around here. Like, just depend on it because it'll take you down like these ATV roads. Like, all these roads here are probably um, Poison Spider Safari route. So, it is actually a road. Google doesn't have a street view. If you follow Google to tell you to go down these roads, you certainly don't want to go down there in a rental car. Perhaps, maybe you do want to go down it in a rental car. Let's see what else we got. Potash Road. I think that actually might be the road that goes to Corona Arch. It might be this route 279 might be called that. I'm not sure. I need to check that out. Oh, it says a biking trail, so maybe it is. That's not the same thing, so I'm thinking of something else. So this is something different. Wilson's Arch is south of Moab, and that is down in here somewhere. If I zoom in, I don't know if it'll pop up here somewhere. I don't know how far south it is. We've been by it several times. Oh, it's past this, I think. Hole in the rock. There it is down here. So it's a huge arch. Once again, you wouldn't have to pay for this. You just go and you park along the road and can hike up to it. And we've been there before a couple times and hiked up to it. You can see it from the highway there. It's up behind here. The semi driving by. So that's free. Grandstaff Canyon Trail. So that is about maybe 3 miles from Moab, and it's a canyon, and it's not bad. You could do that when it's kind of hot because it goes down a canyon, and this might be it. So the trailhead is right there along the Colorado River. Uh, Pretty scenic. Um, there's not like a destination at the end, like a waterfall or anything. So it'd be cool to do that. It's in a canyon, so like if you go in the afternoon, it should be shady, not not in direct sunlight. That's the thing I'd be afraid of. Some of these trails, like if you're in direct sunlight hiking, and it's going to be like 90 or 100 degrees, it just will zap your energy super fast. So you have that. Castle Valley, which I'm not exactly sure what that is. Balance Rock is in Arches National Park. The South Mountain Loop is, it might be, we've never really done that before. Excuse me. Utah Scenic Byway 279. Oh, so the rock art, or so the pictographs or petroglyphs is on the way to Corona Arch. So along this route to, where we at here? So the um so there's dinosaur. Oh, there's potash real dinosaurs. The poison spider trailhead. You don't want to go on that road, but the petroglyphs. They're all over Utah, but there's some right along this. Oh, here they are right here. These are right along the highway there. So you drive along and there's a sign that says the petroglyphs are there. You just pull over. Over here, the Wall Street climbing area. So you drive by there, you can pull and watch people do rock climbing. That makes me nervous watching those people. And Moab Giants, I'm not sure. It's a museum, looks like. There's places where there's dinosaur tracks, and what happened is like back in the day, the dinosaurs stepped in mud, and then it more mud must have covered it, and then it became petrified, and then it washed away, and then you got the dinosaur tracks. Some of this other stuff is lesser known things, museums. The Needles District is in Canyonlands National Park. A Hole in the Rock, I mentioned that. It's on the way to Wilson Arch. It's a privately owned thing down here. You see this big whole thing painted along the road. We've never have stopped there to go inside it. Um, I don't know how much it is or anything, but that's what that is. I'm just going down this list. Moab Information Center. That I don't know if I've ever been there. There's lots of bike trails, Slick Rock bike trail. You got to be in shape because you're going up these hills and down these hills, and you're going down these rocks super fast. I won't even do that because I don't like falling down. You could do it's probably 75 to $100 per person. You take these Humvee or Jeep trails. They take you out there and up over like that Hell's Revenge Road and different things. That Poison Spider Trail, I told you not to follow Google because Google will take you down this. You can see it's not something you want to drive down. Maybe it is. There's a park. Let's see what else. Um, I think that's it. I'll stop at 30. So those are some things around Moab. Like I said, I would, if it was me, I would spend maybe 2 days around Moab. You could, the days will go fast. So let's see what we got total. I could, like you fly in, depending on how much time you got, you can spend a day around Salt Lake City, drive to Park City, spend most of a day there, and then you could like actually take off that night and drive to Moab, which is 3 hours. Spend the whole next day there, and then maybe a whole next day, and then you might have to spend another night there because there's not much for lodging along here. Green River, there's some hotels. Hanksville, there might be some hotels. But then, like I said, go to Goblin Valley. You could even drive to that little Wild Horse Canyon and hike down it a little bit. But you could work your way across here. Um, if you're adventurous, you could go into National Reef National Park and drive this thing called the Burr Trail. And you got these switchbacks on this road that will scare you half to death, which is fun. It's somewhere in here. Um, it's kind of gravel in some areas. Check your rental car agreements, make sure it's okay. But like I said, Escalante is a little known place that is very scenic. There's some slot canyons that Jody and I went to, and we got stuck. Oh, I got stuck in there. She didn't get stuck. She went for help. I was stuck, but they were like way off the beaten path, and it's hard to take a rental car to those. But you can go to, like I said, the Calf Creek Falls, and then go to Bryce Canyon. You can spend a whole day at Bryce Canyon, and then work your way. Just driving these routes is scenic, so you can combine some scenic driving time along with hiking and some other things. So that's what I would do, but I'm an outdoors person. I like to get away from people, and um, but these national parks do get pretty crowded, so you'd have to go super early in the morning to beat the traffic, especially Arches. Bryce also early. Zion, I'm thinking Zion's getting to the point where you're gonna need reservations to even go there. It's so crazy as of late. So that's the end. 25 minutes of rambling. I hope this is helpful.